getting closer and closer to training camp, and it's also that time of year where we're really going to be analyzing this Cowboys roster to determine where we are at currently and where we need to improve. So, what we're doing here is to do another position evaluation series for 2021. It was very well received last year, so with that being said, I think it's time to do it this year. In case you're new and didn't catch what I did last season, I did a position evaluation for each position group that the Cowboys have going on offense, starting with the quarterbacks all the way to special teams and even coaching. So, those are going to be the type of videos that will be coming out over the next couple of weeks up until training camp, with a couple other videos sprinkled in if news does happen. So I hope you guys enjoy that, and please support this by hitting the like button as well as subscribing and hitting the notification bell as well if you want to receive more of this content. So let's get straight into it. Quarterback one is Dak Prescott. He is the unchallenged starter. There is no question about it. The Cowboys are all in on him. And with that being said, I think more of the question is, what do we expect from him? And I think the thing we would look at is, okay, he's getting the big bucks, and there's a lot more expectations on him to perform with such contract. I firmly believe that Dak Prescott's going to have a fantastic year. Sure, he might not throw 5,000 to 6,000 yards, but I do believe he's going to help the Cowboys win games if he needs to take the game into his hands, and I do believe that Dak Prescott is definitely a top 10 quarterback, arguably top 5 depending on who you ask. For me, I think he is. But, that's besides the point. That's not the discussion we're here to have. The point is the Cowboys have a bona fide stud quarterback, and he's only getting better. And I understand that people are concerned about the whole injury thing. Based off of what doctors are saying and based off of his confidence, I think he's perfectly fine. So I'm really excited to see what Dak can do in 2021. So now we shift gears to QB2. Who is Dak Prescott's backup? And based off of who's on this roster, it's Garrett Gilbert. I think that his performance during the Pittsburgh Steelers game was definitely admirable. For a guy that kind of comes out of nowhere and, is able to do decent. Now, it could be just a one-game thing, but based off of how he did, and considering that's the only time we have the chance to evaluate him fully, he did very well. However, the one pet peeve that I do have is that, I really think that Dallas should not settle. And that is something that they always do with their backups. We saw it with Brandon Weeden. We saw it with Cooper Rush. It's just infuriating because Dallas doesn't invest enough into the backup quarterback position because you don't know what could happen. So Garrett Gilbert's a fine piece to have for the value, but you need to upgrade. You need to be able to develop someone or just bring a veteran in to be that guy if Dak Prescott has to either step out or if, you're resting him, So there's that. Now, we go to the third string guys. And obviously, you can be like, oh, I think Cooper Rush is better. I think Ben DiNucci is better. To me, it's 3A and 3B. These guys aren't worth putting on the roster. They are not worthy of being on that 53-man roster unless someone gets injured, okay? And, I would say that, look, we know what we have in Cooper Rush in the sense of, okay, you know what? He's a guy that can be a camp body, but I wouldn't want him in a regular season game. And same thing with Ben DiNucci. Sure, he had a whole game, and I know it's one game, but really he didn't do anything other than short dink and dunk passes and just having the run game carry him. And honestly, we were going up against an Eagles team that was completely flustered that year, so who knows what would, But I would probably stick with Ben DiNucci, mainly due to the fact I'm really curious to see if he can improve, especially with preseason. Now, with Cooper Rush, I get a sense of like, okay, he does well in the, he's a camp body type of guy, but I just don't see it with him. So, I don't really care where these guys are at, who cares? So, with that being said, what would I grade this position group, with the quarterbacks? Now, Dak Prescott is ultimately what holds this group together in the sense of, okay, he at minimum makes this a B plus, okay? And you look at the guys behind him, and I would say, you know what? I can trust Garrett Gilbert for a game or two, but in terms of a long term, like, can he lead us to the playoffs like a last year's type of situation? I wouldn't trust that. So for me, I would probably go with A minus unless proven otherwise. Like if Garrett Gilbert actually does, better in the preseason, I'd be a little bit more comfortable. I don't understand it's preseason, but I want to see what I have in my quarterbacks. But I think I'm comfortable with what we have value-wise with Garrett Gilbert, but we definitely need to improve. So I think it's A minus, mainly because of Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a franchise quarterback who is entering his prime, and you got the guy for you're probably going to have him for, another 10 years of him playing at a high level. So, that's where I would put it. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you feel confident in these backups? Do you think the Cowboys should upgrade? I want to hear it. So put it down in the comment section below. And thank you so much for reaching the end of this video. If you could do me a solid down below, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That'd be awesome. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next position evaluation when we go over the running backs. So awesome. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.